Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Prajwal Kishore Kamardi. I'm studying masters in computer science in the UIC. I'm representing group 1 for the project in the course uh, distributed objects in cloud computing, that is CS 441 for fall 2020. So this is the project. So I'm gonna explain the project right now. So the project is to simulate an overlay network, and the main requirement is to Dockerize the application and run it in EC2 instance. So this is the directory of the project. As you can see, there is a build.sbt, a Docker file to Dockerize it, and these are the shell scripts which can just run the file, run the project. So let's start with the Dockerizing the application. So to Dockerize this application, so first you have to have a Docker file. So let me just print the Docker file for you. So what we are trying to achieve with this Docker file is just to have a container with Java 8 installed, SBT version 1.3.13. So this is going to install the SBT inside the Docker container, Docker image, sorry, and then change the work directory to this folder and copy all the contents in this path to this folder. So that is the Docker. That is the main aim of this Docker file. So let me just clear for now. So to create a Docker image, we have to use Docker build, give it a tag. I'm gonna give overlay sim colon 1.0 and click on enter. So it's gonna create a I forgot to mention the current folder. So it's gonna build a Docker image. So this is gonna take some time. Yeah, so yeah, it's almost done. Yep. So done. As after you are done, so to see the Docker images created, so as you can see, this is the Docker image which is created right now. So the next step is to push this Docker image to Docker Hub. So to push this to Docker Hub, so you have to do a you have to tag this. So overlay sim colon 1.0, give it a tag. That is the this is the name of my repository. So overlay sim colon 1.0. So this is the tag. So if I click enter, something an image which is very similar to this is going to be created. So I'm not going to do that again. So then after you have done creating that, you have to push this to Docker Hub. So Docker push. So copy this colon 1.0. Again, I'm not going to show this. So again, I'm not going to show this here. So it's going to take around 30 minutes as we have a slow internet connection. I can just show it in Docker Hub here. So Docker Hub. So if I open this, so this has been uploaded around 2 hours before. This is the same thing. This has been uploaded. So the next is let us try to run this. So to run this, I have to do Docker run -t -d overlay sim colon 1.0. So if I run this, it's gonna create a Docker container, and it's going to run that in background. That is why we are giving my -t-d. So this is gonna give a if you do docker ps, you're gonna see a Docker image which is running. So if it's gonna give you a default name, if you want to have a name given by this, if you want to create a name which is given by you, you can do this. So let me stop this container, docker stop. So if you do docker ps, it's not running anymore. So if you want to create a container with your own name, so we're just gonna copy this command and paste it over here. So this is the container which is given by you. RM is gonna, what RM is going to do is, it is going to delete whatever so it's gonna spin up your container, and after your session, if you exit the container, it is gonna delete all the sessions in the inside of that container, just to save space. So if I do this, it's gonna spin my Docker. So now I have my now I'm inside my Docker container. So I just want to run this file. So let me run can.sh. So this is gonna take around 5 to 10 minutes to just start compile the SBT. Let me pause until then and come back as soon as it's ready. So the simulation has started right now. So as you can see, the simulation is running as it should be running. So yeah, these are the logs that are being printed. This is a very huge simulation, so the log contents are huge as well. So yeah, it's starting a HTTP server right now. So any user actor who wants to add data is going to hit that server to add his data. So the simulation is right now is going on. So he's adding the data, and it's getting the values for that data. So yeah, this is the simulation, and it's fairly straightforward. So right now the simulation is running for the can algorithm. So there is another algorithm which is making use of the chord algorithm. So it's making use of Akka sharding and Akka cluster sharding. So even can is making use of cluster sharding. So the program is done, so it's terminated. So it's let us stop it. So I just press Ctrl+C, and it's just stopped the SBT session. So let me clear the logs. So to run the chord and the chord algorithm is a bit different. So to run this, you have to have two different sessions. So you can just create another session for your Docker, like let me open another session. So you can run another session like docker exec -it. The ID of the running container would be let me docker ps. Okay, so do docker exec -it, add the ID of the container, and then use bash. Or so I have another ID, so I can run multiple sessions here. So I am in so this is one Docker session, and this is another Docker session. So I can run called node sh here and wait for some time, and then run called user.sh to start the simulation. So this is how you run the Docker of a Docker instance of our application. So now to deploy this in EC2 instance, let me just exit here. So if I exit here, if I do a docker ps, as you can see the container is stopped. So that is why I used rm tag inside the docker run command. So if you exit out of the session, it is your docker container will stop running. Let's deploy this Docker into EC2 instance. So to do that, let's log into Amazon AWS. So I have a AWS Educate account. So in that, we have to start a EC2 instance. You go to your AWS console. In that, search for EC2. It's already here, but just wanted to show it. So EC2, go to instances. So this was a previous demonstration. So let me create a new instance. Click on launch instances. So let us select the free tier. Again, select a free tier, then configure. You can skip through this again. So if you have HTTP port, you can just expose this port outside and then review and launch. Here you can, if you want to create a new key pair, you can create a new pair and download the private key files. I already have a key pair, so I add my private key files, which it is of this form PEM file. So I'll just launch this instance using that. It will take some time to launch the instance, so the state will change to running. So let's pause until then. So the state has been changed to running. So let's log into this instance. So to connect to this instance, just click on this and copy this command. Before that, you have to save that PEM file, private key file in your Linux system, and just change the permissions just to make sure it's safe. Let's open terminal. So let's paste this command and then click on yes. So now we are logged into EC2. Let's clear this one output. So now we have to install Docker in this EC2 instance. So to do that, run sudo yum install -y docker. So this is gonna install Docker in the system. So this is gonna install Docker. It won't be the permission. You have to change the permissions as it's after it's installed. So yeah, it's done installing. Now run this command sudo user mod a capital D G docker EC2 user, just to change the permissions, and then start the Docker service. To check if Docker is running, just see docker ps or docker info. It's oops. So it doesn't work. So you have to log out and then come back. Now if I do docker ps, yes, it's installed. So now we have to pull our Docker image from the Docker hub. So To do that, so I'm gonna use this command docker pull. So it's gonna download, and the rest is the same. Just run it as if you're running it on local. So let us see until it's complete. So now if we do docker images, so we have this docker image. To start the image, we can just do paste this command, and instead of this, so it's gonna be the same docker and the rest are the same. So let me just exit, and yeah, that's it. This is how you deploy your docker file to the deploy your docker image to EC2 and run the container in EC2. So after you're done, we have to stop the EC2 instance, or else you will be charged. So let's go to instances. So this is the running instance right now. So here you can terminate the instance. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to post comments or any doubts regarding the execution. Thank you and have a nice day.